Yo guys, what's good? Gooner Oz here. First video on the new YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, which will be the majority of you, as I've only got a few thousand followers on Twitter. Twitter is Gooner_Oz. Yeah, for those of you who do know me, thanks for watching. Subscribe, all of that. It will be somewhere. I don't know. I'm new to this YouTube stuff, so um, yeah. I just want to start off by saying, as arrogant as it might sound, and I hate to kick off like this, I am not here for opinions. Like, honestly, I watch so much football. My whole life revolves around football. I don't do this as a parody. This video is for the Arsenal fans, not the Arsenal fans. It's for the Arsenal fans who are hurting, who are fed up year after year of failure, of broken promises, of starting off as title challengers, and this is our year, to always struggling to finish fourth. And I'm here to educate the misinformed. Like, on a weekly basis, I probably watch somewhere in the region of 1,500 minutes minimum to probably 2,000. Just depends really, whatever games are on. 11 a.m. kickoffs. I'm out here trying to find a stream for Bilbao versus Villarreal, 9 p.m. on whatever. You know what I'm saying? I really do this football stuff. So, and that's fine. If you don't do it, I don't have a problem with that. But then I can't take your opinion seriously when, like, I make statements like this player is world class. Like when I say Monreal was world class, for example, everyone laughs at me. I say he's one of the best left backs in the world. And then the people who do criticize me and they oppose my view, they don't watch foreign leagues on a weekly basis, and their judgment of Monreal comes from watching him on a weekly basis. So then at the same time, how can you compare X player and say he makes mistakes, he does this, he does that, when you don't watch the other players in other leagues who are also the best in their position to see what mistakes they make? You just can't put things into context, and you lack understanding. So yeah, I'm here to inform the misinformed majority. Like I said, I don't give a shit about most people's opinions. If you agree with me, brilliant. I'm happy you do. Continue to agree with me. If you don't, then hopefully you can learn. And if you aren't willing to learn, then keep watching, innit? Because all publicity is good publicity. And I'm going to start off by making a very bold statement. And it might come as a surprise to those of you who do know me, because those who do know me over the years, all my friends, people who follow me on Twitter over the years, know I am the most optimistic Arsenal fan out there. Now, always, it doesn't matter who we're facing, Barcelona, Bayern, Chelsea, Man United, I analyse the team, I analyse the opponent's team, and I used to always find a way where I feel like we could exploit their weaknesses and find a way to win. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so the statement that I do want to make, and it might come as one, a lot of people are like, oh, not this shit again, and I will go on to explain why, and I do really hope that people see where I'm coming from. And you know what, a year from now, you can bump this video, you can post it to me, I'm willing to put my neck out on the line. And yeah, so I'm going to start off by saying, as long as Wenger is in charge, if he does stay this season, which is looking very likely, Arsenal will 100% fall out of the top four next season. Now, I know a lot of you are laughing, but you only have to look at the pattern which has gone on. Now, actually, let me, sorry to stop. You know, I'm new to this YouTube stuff, and I don't actually have a script. I just have a few points that I want to make. I do want to start by saying all Arsenal fans at some period in time loved Arsene Wenger. I loved Arsene Wenger. Wenger used to be my dad. I used to call him dad. You know, my dad wasn't in my life. My dad's a waste man, whatever. I used to look up to Wenger. Even on my Twitter, I'm sure you fucking internet geeks who will love quoting people years after they've said stuff, you can find my pictures and stuff where I said Wenger dad, Wenger was my dad, he was my role model. I used to love Wenger, and everyone used to love Wenger. I don't know an Arsenal without Wenger. I'm a relatively young fan, 23 years old. It gave us all the memories, innit? It gave us Invincibles, gave us the trophies, but there comes a period in time where you have to say, you know, we need to let this player go, we need to let this person go for better things to come. Like, I love Henry as well. Henry is the fucking best. Like, for me, Henry is honestly one of the best people in my life. Always has been. But Would I want him over, let's say, a Lewandowski? Would I take Henry out of retirement? Even now he's past it. Would I take him out of retirement and pick Henry instead of Lewandowski when Lewandowski's available, Aguero's available? No, of course I wouldn't. And what is happening at Arsenal at the moment, which a lot of people who are too loyal to Wenger as opposed to Arsenal don't realise, is that the non-top four teams, your Tottenhams, your Liverpools, they are snapping up all the managers who are better than Wenger in 2016. In 2016, who implement their own styles, their own tactics, get the best out of players, and they deliver results at the end of the day. Top managers deliver. They don't make excuses. They get the best out of players, and this is what something that Arsenal hasn't been doing for years. For years. And you can see Klopp in his first season, 8 months or whatever, since he's taken over. I think before he started putting out kids like Stewart and whatever in the league, Liverpool were, or they still were somewhere in the region of 4 to 7 points behind us. With the squad that they have, that is bloody unbelievable. In the year that Arsenal was supposed to win the league, that is unbelievable. 2 finals in his first year, no pre-season, no signings, new league. It's fucking, it's, you know what, I have to give Klopp a clap, because the Klopp effect is definitely better than one Arsene Wenger, and people don't realise, and a lot of people are afraid to see Wenger out. Like, they're afraid to say Wenger out. I watch Arsenal Fan TV and I see, you know, years ago, it's funny, one of my friends said to me that Oz today, quite recently, he said to me, Oz, your views regarding Arsenal and Wenger, you're like a young Claude. And I used to say nonsense. I couldn't stand Claude because, you know, I always feel like, obviously I don't blame him. He clearly isn't someone who watches foreign leagues on a weekly basis. He isn't trying to find a Barcelona stream at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night or whatever. And I say fair play to him. But when I went on Arsenal Fan TV a few weeks ago, I was trying to get on, and I couldn't get on because everyone was just hounding Robbie like a bunch of dogs. And I realised when I saw guys like Heavy D and all these guys that it was almost like a parody to them. And to me, this is not a parody. When Arsenal lose, when I see what's going on at Arsenal, it ruins my weekend. I can't stand it when we lose. I see Heavy D come out after shit result and he's boom, 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 everyone booming. What the fuck is that about, man? Like, this is not a joke, innit? This is everything. My whole life revolves around Arsenal. So when I see shit like that, it gets me so angry. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, sorry guys. So yeah, when I see shit like that, it really does piss me off. And I see Mo and he's like kind of he just can't bring himself to say Wenger out. And don't get me wrong, the board are fucking terrible. Stan Kroenke, the bastard, all of the cunts, all of them, they all need to fuck off. They need to be forced out. They need to be 6-7 need to run up on them and tell them some shit and tell them get the fuck out. Like, they do need to seriously be moved out of this club. But then at the same time, you need a competent manager, because what people don't understand, and this is for a lot of the people who don't watch La Liga on a weekly basis, and I find there's a correlation between people who don't watch other leagues on a weekly basis to those still saying Wenger in. And obviously it's for different reasons. You have clubs like Southampton, Atletico, they all sell for different reasons. And Wenger's past restraints were to build a stadium. And at the end of the day, you still sell players. You still have to get rid of players. Now, managers like Simeone, who are on 4.4 mil, half of what Wenger's on. And they replace players. Courtois, Arda Turan, Miranda, Villa. The list goes on and on and on of players these managers have replaced. And when Simeone took over Atletico, they were in a crisis. They were 10th in the league, and he's taken them. He's won the Europa, he's won the Super Cup. This year, he's knocked out 2 of the favourites, Bayern and Barca, out of the Champions League. And he's won 5 trophies in the last 5 years, including La Liga. He's taken Atletico with lesser talented players, without a doubt, than Real Madrid and Barca. But he's made them go toe-to-toe with them. And this comes from... because what people don't realise is you play the top teams twice a year. You play them twice a year. One at home, one away. If you can get a result against them, you're in it, because at the end of the day, all you have to do is get a result against the rest of the league, and that should be not pretty straightforward, because it's never straightforward, but it's a lot more likely than beating Barca and Bayern, Barca and Real Madrid, sorry, on a weekly basis. So yeah, at the start of the season, our title expectations were to finish above, to win the league, to win the league, and now our expectations, well, a few weeks back, was to finish above Tottenham, and now that's looking even more unlikely. And now our expectations, as usual, is to finish for top four, and this is all the board want from Wenger, and they allow Wenger to get the stick, and Wenger allows himself to get the stick while he snaps up his 8 million a year, or whatever it is, somewhere in that region, while the fans, to be quite honest, we're the ones suffering at the end of the day. And at some point in time, no one wanted Wenger out, right? So just think about this. No one wanted Wenger out. We were all Wenger in. And slowly but gradually, it's now a point of how much you can take before you say Wenger out. And this is why I made the statement that we're going to fall out of the top four, because I think that's going to trigger it for a lot more people, because let's be honest now, there are a lot of Wenger out people, and rightly so. But when we fall out of the top four next season, whether it's to either Liverpool or Tottenham, because make no mistake about it, Chelsea, one game a week under Conte, they're 100% guaranteed a top four spot. Manchester City, under Pep, whether they play Europa or not, under Pep, transition, clear out, they will be in the top four. Tottenham, now, with a better manager, with the pressing style that they have, I can definitely see them finishing, well, maybe it might not be title challenges again, but they will finish third or fourth next season, because now they're in the Champions League, they can attract Champions League quality. So that's 3 teams already. Now, to be perfectly honest, I don't think Leicester are going to be up there next season. But then you have Liverpool and Man United. Now, one of them will beat us. Like I said, since Klopp's taken over, they've taken, what, 4 points, 7 points? Less than Arsenal, despite everything that's gone on. No pre-season, no signings, and in his first year in England, just seeing that the squad he's got, evaluating everything. Klopp is a top-class manager, and this is what top-class managers do. And I've no doubt whatsoever that one of them will pipe us for fourth. And then I think Arsenal fans are going to realise now we are fucked, and whether that leads to us selling Sanchez and Ozil wanting to leave, and then it's going to go downhill from there, and then Wenger will be forced out, and then people will say, oh, look where we are now, Wenger's left and we're going downhill. But no, this has happened because you guys have allowed Wenger to stay this long. He should not have been allowed to stay this long. Every year it's the same shit, every single year. You look at the decisions he's made. We knew Coquelin would not do a full season, whether it was to injury, whether it was to suspension, we knew he would not do a full season, right? So, yeah, we allowed Flamini and Arteta to be first choice after Coquelin, and that is not acceptable for any top club. Arteta is fucking captain. Gabriel, we've had Gabriel, and now Gabriel gets a lot of stick, right? But I want Arsenal fans to go back and think when Koscielny first arrived at Arsenal and he made all those mistakes, everyone was on his back. This is the exact same with Gabriel. I used to watch Gabriel at Villarreal, right? And Villarreal had one of the best defensive records in La Liga, and they still do, and Gabriel was a key part of that. But obviously when you move to a new league and you need to adapt to not only the style of the league, you know, it's different, you get pressed more, it's more physical, whatever it might be, and then obviously the partnership you have to build with the with your defender. Wenger waited until it got to a point where we might not actually win the league before he said, you know what, he dropped Per. Per came back and then he dropped him, and, you know, it was still too late. Giroud, first choice Arsenal striker for almost half a decade, first choice. And as much as we get so frustrated, right, and we blame players, we blame Flamini, Arteta, Per, Giroud, Ramsey, whoever you want to blame. And what we don't realise is that you can't blame different sets of players for 10 years. There's one common denominator, and that is Arsene Wenger. And that, funnily enough, happens to be the guy who's in charge of transfers, who's in charge of tactics, who's in charge of every single thing that we blame. And you know what? What do we get back for it? He blames the fans. You blame the fans, blame referees, blame financial doping, and then blame everything. Then you say, oh, Leicester are an example that you don't have to spend to win. But then at the same time, when you don't win it, you blame your fucking Man Cities and your Chelseas for spending. There is no way. Other managers, look at it, right? Honestly, the managers I take, there's endless amount of managers, because to be quite frank, with the squad that we have, it is not difficult to deliver what Wenger has delivered in the last 5-10 years, which is a top 3 or 4 finish. With the squad we've had, people post this silly picture about, oh, Wenger achieved this with this squad. No, it was an FA Cup game where we played shitty players. Don't try and come with these bullshit things to suit your agenda, because it's not happening. So yeah, guys, I've got a lot more to say, but obviously I just want to touch on a few points. I don't want to make the video too long because a lot of you don't know me, and these videos will be a regular thing. So please do subscribe if you enjoy what I've had to say. And I just want to make one final point before I go to all the AKBs, right? If at the end of last season, where we had a great run, right, and we said, you know what, next year is definitely our year, we should win the league next year. If at the end of last season, someone else replaced Wenger and delivered what Wenger has delivered this year, which is ultimately failure, everyone would be going crazy saying, oh, you wanted Wenger out, look what we've got, look what's happened, look what's happened. Well, look what's happened. We kept Wenger in. We're the only club in Europe's top 5 leagues not to sign an outfield player, which is a shocking stat. And in today's market, you have to overspend. You have to spend an extra 5-10 million to get the players you want. That's just how it is. When you have top clubs competing for this good players, it just happens. You have to do it. But when you're so stubborn and you go against everyone, you say, no, I'm not listening to no one, I'm going to do things my way, and your way evidently doesn't work, hasn't worked. And you can't just keep blaming players. Honestly, you can't blame different sets of players for 10 years when other managers who get the best out of shitter players and do just as good as us. Now, I'm under no doubt that Klopp, Simeone, any top manager, even Pep, would have won the league with this Arsenal team. And, you know, I'm fed up with it. So, yeah, just to summarize my point and my main thing with this video, which you feel free to bump in a year's time when we do actually fall out of the top 4. And you know, I will feature on Arsenal Fan TV, so you guys might as well get used to me, because I am very vocal. And like I said, I watch the football. Arsenal fans can't put things into context. You can't tell me a player isn't top 5 in the world when you only watch one league every week. You can't, because you don't know what mistakes the other players make, the other best players in that league make. You can't put things into context, and you lack understanding. So next year when we do fall out of the top 4 and we are fucking shit, and more people are Wenger out, remember, I was the first person to tell you that next year we will actually fall out of the top 4, and under Wenger we will not win another major trophy again, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, if you guys liked what I've got to say, please subscribe. Even if you don't, whatever, please subscribe, leave a comment. I might reply to you, but remember, I'm not here for opinions. I'm here to educate the misinformed, and that is the mass. The vast majority of people have no idea, because they don't try to watch. They don't watch. They don't know. You can't put things into context. You lack understanding. And there's a whole bunch of virgins on football Twitter as well who say shit like, oh my god, unreal, tears, scenes, all of that shit. And you know what, I've seen a lot of them on Periscope, I've seen a lot of them, and football Twitter, those, you know, the names with the funny alliterated names and stuff like that, that is honestly just a bunch of 15-year-old virgins, school kids who go bed 10 o'clock, and I honestly don't give a shit what they've got to say. They're always in my mentions talking shit, but they wouldn't say anything to you face to face. Quick shout outs to Mems, shouts out to Mo. Although you know, when I used to watch Arsenal Fan TV every week, Mo talks the most sense. He does genuinely talk a lot of sense, but I think he's lost some credibility, in my opinion anyway, with his refusal to say Wenger out. And you know, we do need to force change at this club, because believe me, this whole thing that Wenger leaves when he wants. Leaves when he wants, when we become like Chelsea, when we fall out of the top four, when Ozil and Sanchez leave. Like, at what point do you say enough is enough? So, yeah, that's, sorry guys. I know I'm keep going on, but like I said, my life revolves around football, and it does really pain me to see Arsenal in the state that it's at. And I do want change, and unless we force change and we let our voices be heard, we will not get change. And we need to let the board know that we are not happy with Wenger. We are not happy with them either, and we need to create an actual atmosphere that, you know, if it does affect the team, let it affect the team, because Wenger affects the team. We have the best players in a lot of positions. As a team, we could do so much better, and people can't see this. And fair play to the players, because they actually overcome the adversity that is Wenger, because he is actually holding us back. And like I said, Klopp, Simeone, Pep, they would have all walked the league with this team. So yeah, see you guys again. I'll make another video and bump this one when we do fall out of the top four. And AKBs, remember the point I made about, you know, if Wenger was replaced last year. So thanks for watching, guys. Been quite a long video. Please subscribe, like, whatever, and more videos coming soon. Peace out.